The internet can be a strange and unpredictable beast. One moment, it's chasing the latest flash-in-the-pan trend, and the next, it's resurrecting a global pop icon whose career has already spanned decades. But in 2025, something magical and wildly unexpected happened. Kylie Minogue, Australia's pop princess, dance floor queen, and veteran of reinvention, experienced a viral resurgence that no one saw coming. At a time when newer artists dominate streaming charts and social media buzz, Kylie didn't just resurface, she soared, captivating Gen Z, millennials, and longtime fans alike with a sound and aesthetic that was both nostalgic and entirely fresh. Kylie Minogue has always been a chameleon. From her days as Charlene on the Australian soap opera Neighbours to her transition into a bubblegum pop sensation in the late 1980s, she carved out a niche that was uniquely hers. Her 2001 album Fever, with the mega hit Can't Get You Out of My Head, cemented her status as a global dance pop goddess. But through it all, Kylie never relied on one formula. She dipped into disco, flirted with indie pop, dabbled in country, and always managed to do it with charm, elegance, and a twinkle in her eye. Still, by the mid-2010s, her visibility began to wane in the mainstream sphere. And though she remained beloved, she wasn't exactly front and center in pop culture. That changed dramatically in 2025, when a perfect storm of music, media, and meme culture thrust Kylie back into the global spotlight. It all began with a TikTok trend, one of those inexplicable, wildly contagious moments that ignite the internet. A clip from her 1997 single, Did It Again, began circulating with Gen Z influencers lip-syncing to the chorus while reenacting scenes of inner conflict. The video's retro aesthetic, Kylie's multiple personas battling for dominance, and the catchy melody made it prime fodder for viral remixes and edits. Suddenly, thousands of TikTok users were discovering, or rediscovering, the depth of Kylie's catalog. The song surged on Spotify, old music videos garnered millions of new views, and Kylie became a trending topic across platforms. But the virality wasn't a fluke. Kylie responded not with nostalgia, but with strategy. Sensing the renewed interest, she released a surprise EP titled Neon Renaissance, a 5-track ode to her dance pop roots fused with futuristic synths, glittering house beats, and lyrics dripping in empowerment, vulnerability, and cheeky flair. Critics praised it for its effortless blend of retro and contemporary influences. Fans old and new marveled at her vocal maturity and lyrical boldness. The lead single, Velvet Touch, became a dance floor staple overnight, accompanied by a neon-soaked music video that celebrated queer culture, underground rave scenes, and unapologetic sensuality. Kylie was not pandering. She was reclaiming the genre she helped shape. What made Kylie's resurgence so compelling in 2025 was that it wasn't engineered by major marketing budgets or traditional press. It was organic. Her authenticity and playfulness resonated with younger audiences hungry for sincerity in a world of over-polished pop. In interviews, she was candid about aging in the industry, about doubts and rediscovery, about finding joy in the process again. She joked about being called a TikTok icon by her nieces and nephews, and expressed genuine awe at the platform's role in catapulting her back into mainstream consciousness. In many ways, Kylie's return wasn't about reinvention, it was about revelation. The world was finally catching up to the brilliance she had been quietly serving all along. The resurgence also sparked a larger conversation about legacy, longevity, and the changing metrics of musical relevance. For decades, pop music has prioritized youth and novelty. Artists over 40, especially women, have often been pushed to the periphery. Yet here was Kylie, 56 years old, dazzling in her prime, commanding festival stages, headlining pride parades, and collaborating with hotshot producers in their 20s. The message was clear: artistry doesn't expire, and charisma doesn't have an age limit. The EP was followed by an intimate documentary titled Kylie, Electric Heart, released on streaming platforms in March 2025. It offered a behind-the-scenes look at her creative process, chronicled the spontaneous rebirth of her musical journey, and featured emotional reflections on fame, family, and fandom. The documentary was a hit, not just among longtime admirers, but with a new generation inspired by her resilience and reinvention. It painted a portrait of a woman who had been underestimated time and time again, only to rise, reinvent, and reclaim her crown. Kylie's fashion too became a subject of internet fascination. Stylists and influencers began recreating her signature looks from the early 2000s: metallic bodysuits, futuristic goggles, disco-ready jumpsuits, while she herself re-emerged on red carpets with a mix of vintage glam and contemporary edge. Designers clamored to dress her. Magazines featured her on covers with headlines like "The Eternal It Girl" and "Queen of the Comeback." Her aesthetic influence was suddenly inescapable, shaping everything from high fashion to fan art. Beyond the music and media, Kylie's presence in 2025 tapped into something deeper: the joy of rediscovery. For many, she was a reminder of a more innocent era of pop music, when dance tracks weren't designed for algorithms but for emotion. What makes Kylie's comeback even more meaningful is the way it's forced a collective reevaluation of what it means to age in entertainment, and more specifically, in pop music. She didn't make her return by pretending to be younger or by conforming to current industry molds. Instead, she embraced her journey. She celebrated her past while owning her present. And in doing so, she set a bold new standard. Longevity isn't about clinging to youth. It's about evolving with grace, power, and creativity. Kylie's story in 2025 is also a tribute to the fans, the lovers, who never stopped believing, who danced when others dismissed, and who helped carry her legacy forward through every beat, remix, and memory. Kylie gave them more than music. She gave them a mirror to see their own growth, resilience, and joy reflected in her. Her journey is also a gift to a younger generation growing up in a hyper-curated, hyper-pressurized digital age. Kylie's Resurgence serves as a masterclass in self-belief, reinvention, and the freedom to create without apology. It tells today's artists and fans alike that it's okay to slow down, to fall out of the spotlight, to take a breath, and then come back stronger than ever. The applause might not always be instant, but when it returns, it can be thunderous. As 2025 comes to a close and we reflect on the moments that defined pop culture, Kylie Minogue's glow-up stands as a shining example that magic doesn't disappear. It just waits for the right time to sparkle again. Her comeback wasn't driven by corporate campaigns or chart chasing. It was powered by passion, timing, and a community ready to celebrate something real. In a world flooded with fleeting fame, Kylie reminded us of something eternal. That music, when created from the heart, will always find its way back to the center of our lives. So, as Velvet Touch continues to pulse through dance floors and her world tour sets stages alight across the globe, Kylie Minogue's story in 2025 becomes a testament to the enduring power of pop.